Hi, everybody. This is Brenda Green with the Be Strong Group, a nonprofit my husband and I founded in honor of our son, Braden, who has sickle cell disease. We're so happy that you're joining us for our next Tuesday chat. If you've been following us, you know we have a blood drive coming up this Friday. And I'm so excited because I have some special guests on with me. We're going to talk about the upcoming blood drive. We're going to talk about the importance of blood donation. We're going to talk about sickle cell disease from the perspective of our men. I'm so excited in honor of Father's Day that's coming up this weekend. We have with us some amazing sickle cell warriors as well as caregivers of our sickle cell warriors who are here to share their story with you. So without further ado, I will bring them to the stage. And first up, we have Timothy Griffin. Hey, Timothy.
How are you? How are you?
Doing well. I'm going to bring everybody up and then give everybody a chance to introduce themselves. We
Sounds
have
good.
Mario Jenkins. Hey, Mario.
Good afternoon. How's everyone doing today?
Doing good. We also have Patrick Green. Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Brenda Green.
And last but definitely not least, we have Mr. Braden Green. Hey, Braden, how are you, bud?
I'm good.
Thank you all for joining us. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm probably going to hop off screen a little bit because I want you guys to kind of engage with our listeners. And for those of you who are listening, who will be listening live, thank you for listening. For those of you who are joining us on the replay, thank you. And hopefully it's before Friday at 1 p.m. so you can come to our blood drive that will be held at the American Red Cross. But of course, we will share more with you. But we have some sickle cell warriors here, and we have a fellow caregiver who I want them to share their stories. Let's start up with Timothy Griffin. Timothy also represents an organization that we're partnering with for our Stronger Together blood drive on this Friday, June 17th, in honor of World Sickle Cell Day, which is Sunday. Timothy, how are you? Tell the
I'm
people who you are.
Yes, ma'am. My name is Timothy Griffin, founder of Faith Elevated Nonprofit. I'm also uh, my whole mission in life is to awaken lives and to ignite visions. I'm a sickle cell warrior myself, and I can tell you a little bit about my story and my life. That's okay if you would like
Oh,
to hear about that.
that's absolutely fine. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. So, growing up, at birth, I was diagnosed with sickle cell. Parents found out at birth, but my story is a little bit different. All throughout elementary school, middle school, and high school, never had a sickle cell pain crisis, and all glory be to God. It wasn't until I got to about college, and I'm heavily involved in church. Hence why my nonprofit is called Faith Elevated, because I want to help elevate everyone's faith in any shape, way, or possible, whether that's they're dealing with mental illness, sickle cell, cancer, whatever the case may be. My whole mission and vision is to elevate someone's faith during their time of trouble. And so I was doing my own thing, and basically told God that I didn't want to do ministry. I didn't want to be in the pulpit. I didn't want to preach. I didn't want to be a youth leader. And so I had like a Job like experience, and I'm starting to call it like a Jonah experience as well, because I felt like I was in the belly of a whale for 3 entire months, in and out the hospital, blood transfusion after blood transfusion, and I didn't know what a blood transfusion was until about the age of 18. And so we went through that. I accepted the calling that God had upon my life. And from then on to now, I am 25 years of age. And I can count on my fingers on one hand how many times I've been hospitalized. And that's all glory to God. But yeah, that's my story. And my mission is to help elevate others' faith through everything that they may be facing in life.
Oh, and that's an amazing story. And we're so excited. I'm really happy to have met you.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's really encouraging to meet a young warrior, especially a young male warrior. So I'm so excited that you are a part of this upcoming blood drive. And
Yes,
I
ma'am.
know we will collaborate in the future with both
Yes, ma'am.
organizations. So thank you for joining us. We're going to, if you could hold tight,
Okay.
and stay as long as you can, but when you have to
Mhm.
hop off, you can do so. But
Okay.
next up, we'll go ahead and talk to Mario. I know you've been on our Tuesday chat before, but tell the people what you want them to hear and know about you.
Well, hello. Again, my name is Mario Jenkins. I am the distribution manager for the American Red Cross, and I am also, as we call ourselves, sickle cell warrior. I've had it a very long time, going on 47 years of having it. So I'm here today to speak on the need for blood and try to get some more people to come out for the blood drive and speak on how it is living with sickle cell. There's different aspects on it depending on the person and the patient and the family member dealing with it. So you'll probably hear a bunch of different aspects coming from this conversation today. And then we'll get on, when it's time to talk about coming out and donating and helping us get some blood to help take care of some of these sickle cell patients and keep everybody nice and healthy.
All right, Mario comes with a very, very interesting perspective from his personal journey as well as his professional journey as a warrior. So I think that's very, very uh, um, a very wonderful combination, to be totally honest, to be in the middle of to be able to advocate for blood donors. Um, and Patrick Green, we're going to go with you first. You being a fellow caregiver of one of our amazing warriors.
All
Tell the
right.
people who you are.
Thank you all. My name is Patrick Green. I am an environmental scientist and I am the carekeeper of a sickle cell warrior, Mr. Braden Green. And I am also a carrier. I have a sickle cell trait. I am a carrier of the trait, which, you know, as also one of the co-founders of the Be Strong group, I'm actually starting to learn a lot more about some of the symptoms that I tend to carry as a person that has the sickle cell trait. For years, the belief was that you had the trait, there was nothing that affected you if you didn't have the full disease. But as I've gotten older, I can actually relate to having sickle cell trait and not having sickle cell trait. So I do understand that there are some complications with the sickle cell trait also. So thank you.
Thank you, Patrick, for joining us this evening on your first Tuesday chat. So, last but not least, we have Mr. Braden Green. Hey, Braden, can you just talk to the people, tell them what you want them to know about you, maybe what kind of sickle cell you have, and where you go to school, what grade you're going to, all that kind of good stuff.
My name's Braden Green, and I have sickle cell SC, and I'm going to AC Flora High School into the 11th grade next year.
Woo-hoo. Good job, buddy. So we're so excited. Again, it's Father's Day weekend coming up. And a lot of times you all hear from the perspective of the mother or the female. And not that often do we get to hear our men, warriors or caregivers. But that doesn't mean to say they don't have a major role, because they absolutely do. This journey is not for the weak. And therefore, everybody plays a vital role in this journey. So let's talk about why blood donation is important to you. And Mario, we're going to start with you because you're a regular recipient of these donations, correct?
Well, I haven't had one in a few years, but I have had them, in my younger years. Thank goodness, because of the treatments and stuff I have now.
Right.
my numbers are elevated where I don't need it as much anymore, but they are, excuse me, they are very needed, and they did save my life at one point. The first time would be when I was a teenager. I had a blood clot in my lung and didn't know it, and ended up passing out and went to the hospital. Ended up, being in there and specialists and everything checking on me, and realized that's what was going on and that my hemoglobin was very low. That was the first time I realized that my blood was not one that was normal, because they weren't able to go and pull it from the blood bank and just give me a transfusion. We had to have a bunch of my family members get tested, and come to find out that my granddad had the match that I needed, and he donated for me, which was called a directed unit. And that point there, I knew that, I didn't have the same, blood types and things as everyone else. Didn't learn more about that until I got older and got my job at the American Red Cross, to realize that it's, different antigen typings and things like that, that we get, as sickle cell patients, that, that we need special treatment and blood for. And that's why we're kind of asking for people to come out and donate, so that, those blood cells and those special typings come majorly from African-American donors. And we're not donating, at the level as everyone else. If we did that, then it wouldn't probably be a need to have specialty donations and blood drives like for the Be Strong group. But we need to get more African Americans out so that we can get the blood tested and everything. When I first started working at the American Red Cross, I realized that we ship blood and things, to patients with sickle cell. And that was something that touched me, of course, for me being a patient with sickle cell myself. I didn't know anything about the Red Cross until I first started working there. A lot of people don't know anything about blood or anything until you need it. And, and when I first started working there, I seen what we did, and, and how much passion they put behind what they did as far as typing blood cells, getting the blood to the patients and everything. And that was the one place that I needed to be for the rest of my career, as far as I looked at it, and so I stayed, and made sure that I did all I could to make sure patients like myself got the blood that they needed on time, make sure it was perfect, make sure it goes out the door without any issues or anything like that, and making sure that it gets to the arms and inside of the patients who are needing it. And and that's my fight, to help, with the warriors around me and the ones that I know, and everyone like that. So, that's how I'm picking it up and carrying the torch on my end. So, and this Friday, we have one of those blood drives again coming up with the Be Strong group. I think the James R. Clark Sickle Cell, it's a bunch of groups all in it this time, so it's a bunch of groups that I help advocate for and with outside of the American Red Cross. And we really need more African American donors to come out and and show up and stick their arm out for us. All blood is needed. Even if you're not African American, you can still come donate. But our blood is the ones that is needed for the patients for sickle cell and things of that matter. So I'm gonna try to get as many as I can get out there. I know it's hard. I know Brenda Green does a good job of getting donors, because I know how hard it is. I've been trying to have my own blood drive for years, and I just can't get enough people at one time to to have it set, and you got to have all of the right parameters and everything set before you can have it done. And you guys do a very good job with the Be Strong group. So I am proud of you guys for keeping that going, because that is something that until recently was not really being done around our way. And even though I'm an advocate and I have people come and donate, on their own terms and times, but to have blood drives just to try to get, the Black community inside and donate for a special cause is something special. And you never know, a lot of people who come and donate, you know, we get typed and everything, and you may be what we call a rare donor. And that's a donor who blood type is so special that it's only a few people that blood can go to because it's needed so badly, and it's not a lot of people who have them. And we do register those donors, and we send you awards and little certificates to let you know that we appreciate you coming and everything, and that you will be saving someone's life because your blood is so special. I'm glad to say I do have at least 3 special rare donor friends and families in my life, and they do donate regularly. I have been able to get them past the scary needle syndrome and all of that, just to, get them in the door. And once I got them in the door and they donated and seen it wasn't bad, they were good to go. And once they got that letter saying that they were a rare donor and how special they was, that was the key for them coming back. So, I just would like for everyone to come out, and, I'm pretty sure we'll come back around to it later on, but, that's my story. And so, and I'll be back again.
Yes, you will. And thank you, Mario. I mean, you touched on so many different things. Let me lead off with saying, yes, we're partnering and collaborating with several different organizations. We have the James R. Clark Sickle Cell Memorial Foundation. We have Dre 365. We have Faith Elevated. Timothy Griffin was on here earlier. He had to hop off for another meeting. We also have the AAH Foundation, and we also are partnering with the Prisma Health Infusion Center, and that's where the adults go to get their treatments. So I am so honored to partner with fellow advocates and fellow organizations in order to put this on Friday. We're stronger together. So I'm glad you said that, and we will roll back around to that. And then you mentioned about there's more to our blood than the type, there's more to our blood than, oh, I'm O positive, O negative, B positive. There's more to our blood than just that letter. There are antigens that Mario mentioned. And, for a sickle cell patient, it's best to get the closest match blood possible, so that there won't be any complications further down the road, whether it's iron overload or whether their body rejects that blood eventually. So, and it's more, the like blood is found with people within the same ethnicity and race. So it is important that everybody donate blood. But as Mario mentioned, the number of African Americans that are regular blood donors is very low. But our goal is to do our part is in increasing that number. And I think we have over the years through our nonprofit, at least locally. So I'm so glad you mentioned that. And Braden, well, Mario mentioned him. Actually, one of his blood transfusion he received was life-saving. And Patrick can share with us our experience with Braden about which opened our eyes to, number one, that need, and number two, how important blood donation is, especially in a moment when, your child is super sick and they need it. And that's a part of their treatment in order for them to survive that illness. So that was the position we were in 2015. And that opened our eyes. Patrick, you want to elaborate on that? I know I've shared that story, but from your perspective as the father, who cares for the entire family, who protects the entire family, us mamas, we're full of emotions, and, me, I'm all into his health and his care and his physicians. But let's hear from your perspective as a father, that moment when you realized the importance firsthand of a blood donation.
Okay. For me, it was during that hospital visit when Braden was very, very sick, and they started doing the blood work and doing the test, and they said, well, his numbers are low, his hemoglobin is low, and so in my mind, you know, I'm thinking, okay, well, what medicine can we give him to get those numbers up? So I'm saying, okay, well, let's do the research, let's see what's going on. And then they said, no, Ms. Green, you don't understand that we have to give him a blood transfusion. The blood transfusion is the only thing that's going to bring those numbers back up. So it takes you back. It takes you back, and you realize that you know being a military person, a Marine, we've always had blood drives, and it was just one of those things that we just did because we've always felt it was the right thing to do. But it's kind of different when it hit close to home, and then you realize, okay, this is why I was giving blood all this time, and then it changes your focus, and you say to yourself, okay, I have to make sure that I'm going to donate blood every chance I get, because if not for that blood donation for Braden, we don't know where we would have been, and it was just a matter of them being able to find the correct blood for him, so it's important. And and a lot of times, unfortunately, from my research is that sickle cell patients receive blood transfusions, but most of the time it's not from African Americans because of the limited number of donors. So and like Mario said, we have to make sure we get African American donors. So every time I get a chance, I put a plug out there to some of my friends, even though I know I have a few that's scared of needles. It's so funny. I was talking to a matter of fact, Brendan, I was talking to Kenya. I spoke to him for the first time in almost 2 years, and I was telling him some of the things we were doing within the Be Strong group. He said, Pat, I need to go and donate some blood. He said the last time I tried to donate blood, he said, I saw the needle and I turned around and I walked out and never came back. He said, but Pat, I'm gonna do it this time. I'm gonna do it for y'all this time. And so I told him, I said, okay, if you don't make it to this blood drive right now, try to make it to the one in September. So he said, okay, I'm going to prepare myself and I'm going to make it to the one in September, just for y'all. And I'm going to try to get through it. He said, I'm just going to turn my head and not look. So it's pretty interesting. I still have all the flyers from some of our Be Strong group blood drive events hanging on my office wall. So some people come back and they'll ask the question, well, what is that? What is the birthday bash? So it starts to trigger conversations. So I kind of lure them in and be like, okay, have you ever given blood? Well, this is a good opportunity. We have a cycle for sickle cell event. And I start to name some of these events, and I think it kind of draws some of them in. I have noticed I have seen a couple of them at some of our events. So, so it is working. I mean, if you can just get 1-2 people, it makes a difference. Just that one donation is going to help 3 people, So we just got to keep on striving. I'm going to try to keep striving, make sure my little man and all the sickle cell warriors have the blood there when they need it,
Yeah, and since you called Kenya's name out, you didn't call his last name, but a lot of people who are listening and follow us, they know who you are. Kenya, he has called you out. So we will be looking for you at the next blood drive. So, but we appreciate everybody for, getting over that fear, getting over that hesitation. But we wanted to share tonight and let you know and see the faces of those who received your blood donation. And it's typical, Mario. What's the saying? A blood donation can save up to 3 lives. That's for real. You're looking at 2 lives right here on your screen that a blood donation has saved. So the need is constant and the need is real. So let's get a little information from Braden Green. Braden, I know you hear your dad and I talk, you've heard me talk about and share your story, our story, over and over again. And do you remember much about when you were really, really sick? Do you remember what you were sick of?
No, I don't remember much of it, but I mainly know that it was a scary time and I had to get a blood donation. And I remember one time, well, when I was getting the blood donation, I was looking up and seeing the red stuff come into my body. And then I was wondering what it was. And I don't think in the moment I realized it was blood. But then yeah, I know it was a scary time to receive the blood donation.
Yeah, and that's good. Well, a part of me, I'm happy that you didn't remember a whole lot of it, but I know through conversations with you over the years, there are things that will trigger a memory for you. And you guys, he had acute chest syndrome, and that's the sickling of the blood in the lungs. And so he needed help breathing. He needed help to recover from that. And that blood transfusion gave his body what it needed in order to survive. So it was a scary, scary moment for his dad and I. And it was almost surreal. And I remember actually watching him get the transfusion. And I did see him glance up every once in a while at the bag of blood, at the blood. And but in and out because he was medicated due to all the pain. But so yeah, this is real, you guys. And so everybody who has already signed up to donate, thank you, thank you, thank you. And y'all know I'm mushy, so you got a mama on here. I'm going to get off the screen. But thank you, thank you, thank you for giving something that of yourself that can actually save lives, impact lives, improve the quality of lives of so many of our warriors. We appreciate you so much. And those of you who are on the line, who may be, as Patrick and Mario mentioned, scared of those needles, or you're not really sure about whether it's helping or anything like that, just know that every donation help, every blood donation help. And we would love to have you join our Braden's Buddies. Those are our regular blood donors, are called Braden's Buddies. And so if you join us, you'll get this little handy wristband to indicate such. So Friday, 1 to 6 at the Red Cross, 2751 Bull Street. You can go to redcrossblood.org and use the sponsor code Be Strong and grab your spot. I wanted to make sure, I was trying to type that out. Y'all see I can't type and talk at the same time. But we have a comment from one of our Facebook listeners and a fellow caregiver, mom of a warrior. And she said, Tyson is about to get a transfusion shortly. And that's what motivates me to donate every chance I can. And please, you guys, Tyson has been in the hospital for a few days so far. And we're praying for him to get better. And it's because of kids like Tyson that we are doing what we do. And I know I tell a lot of people that, initially we started this nonprofit in honor of our son, Braden. But once we started meeting these amazing warriors and other caregivers, it was bigger. It was bigger than just us. So we're doing what we're doing for all of those who are impacted by sickle cell disease. And you guys that are listening, that are following every and able to donate, thank you. It's so appreciated. Now, Mario, it's Father's Day on Sunday. You want you a tie, right? And a tie and some socks, but you're a father.
I am, yes.
But you're a father. Talk to us about your journey as a sickle cell warrior and being a father as well. How has your sickle cell played in your life when it comes to being a dad?
Well, it's it's kind of a lot of things, you know. First off, you know, with my kids, none of them have sickle cell. They both have the trait, thank goodness, you know. And so a lot of what I've done with them is a lot of teaching, because nobody talks to them about sickle cell but me. I am the only one in my family on both sides and down the line who actually has the disease. So, you know, I talk to them about, you know, what they need to look out for growing up as far as getting tired, you know, and you know, you being lethargic, you know, staying out of the heat, staying out of the cold. Even though it doesn't bother you now, it could bother you in the future. And you know, also talk to them about when they get older and start having relationships, you know, what to look for before they start wanting to have kids and things like that, you know, try to get tested, see if anybody has the trait, you know, so you can make better decisions and things like that, you know, so when they get of age. And, you know, I just want it in their mind. I know how we are when we're in love and we're young, and that stuff throws out the window, you know, but hopefully, you know, it seeps in there somewhere along the way that dad told me to check on this first, you know, and hopefully, you know, we can try to help that along the way on our own little journey. As far as myself, being a sickle cell warrior, I think I worried more about them when I had my crisis than you know, I know they worry about me, but you know, and during my crisis period, I am more worried about how they feel, you know, with me going through it and everything. Just per se, last March, I was hospitalized for a week with a crisis, and it was pretty bad. So, you know, my kids were worried, my wife was worried, you know, and I didn't know what to tell them at that time. It had been a while since I had one that was really that bad. And, you know, I was even kind of scared for myself during that time. But, you know, the look on their faces and stuff was what pushed me to be, I guess I say, more stronger, you know, even though they see me IV'd up and half sleep and, you know, not feeling well, you know, I try to stay positive. You know, I try to tell them that, you know, dad's coming home, you know, dad feels okay, you know, and try to, you know, make sure that they, you know, get that affirmation that dad's going to be, you know, pull through, even though that time I didn't know, you know, I felt kind of like things were going wrong. And, you know, but the doctors came in and put me right back on track, and, you know, and everything seemed to, you know, pan out. After a couple of weeks, I got back to normal and back to work and everything. But, you know, like as far as my son, he'd check on me every 15 minutes from now on. You know, every time I just had to kick him out of the room just a second ago because he peeks in, Dad, you okay? You know, and I think that one kind of scared him the most. So, you know, I try to make sure that I let him know that I'm okay. You know, I let him know these things are going to come around, you know, they'll come around, and I be honest with him. You know, I let him know when I don't feel well. I let him know when, you know, you know, I might not be on the way to being full blown crisis, but my arm hurts a little bit, or my leg hurts, you know, I'm going to go lay down, and, you know, they'll come and snuggle and give me all the water and juice and stuff that I need, and just let me, you know, get myself back to normal. But, you know, that's, you know, so what I try to do is just try to, you know, I take care of myself for them, and make sure that I'm as healthy. I go to the doctor on time. I make sure I don't ever miss any appointments. I ask questions when, you know, things are different. And I do all I can to try to make sure that they know that dad's doing enough to take care of himself. And, you know, but they do know that it's something that I can't control. And, you know, when it comes like right now, when it's 100 degrees outside, dad is drinking water on the way to the car, drinking water when he gets out the car. You know, when he comes home from work, he got a bottle of water with him, and, you know, and everything to try to make sure that he's not overhydrating himself, because it don't take long in this type of heat to, you know, to kind of trigger me. And so that's something that my family knows, and they always make sure that I got what I need, and I make sure that I have it too, you know. So it's all about me just trying to prepare myself to, you know, fight as good as I can until I can't, and you know, and they're right there with me, you know. Every sickle cell walk or whatever, my family's right beside me. So I got a support system along with that. And, you know, and I just try to do what I can to make sure that, you know, I be around here with them as long as I can. And like I said, I've been here 40 plus now. And, you know, I don't think I'm gonna stop no time soon, you know, and, you know, so I'm gonna keep trying to be healthy and doing what my doctors tell me. And, you know, and I'm just gonna keep on trudging until, you know, until the day that, you know, we all meet, you know. But right now I'm healthy. I feel good, you know. I lost some of my belly, so I feel okay about that. And you know, so everything's feeling good for me. So, you know, so I'm good with it. So it's just about just, you know, just trying to make sure that they see that I'm taking care of myself, so they know that dad is at least doing that, you know. So when it does happen, they just know that it's just time, you know, instead of, you know, me just not taking care of myself. So I do that for them for the most part. I do it for myself because I know I needed to be healthy, but, you know, but I do the extra and go the extra mile for them, you know, to make sure that they know that dad is, you know, doing everything he can for them. So, you know, that's about, you know, what I give them. And, you know, and I think they appreciate that, at least, you know.
Oh, absolutely. And thank you, Mario, for sharing that, for giving us insight. Um, Happy Father's Day in advance. It has to be, I just wanted people just to hear from your perspective, and perspective as a father, perspective as a warrior, how all that plays together. And while your journey is not easy, your family can see what an amazing husband and dad you are, to be so strong, to battle such an illness that could be so unforgiving, just putting it nicely, but yet still fill your role as dad, as husband. So thank you again. Thank you for being here and sharing your story. Before we move back to Patrick, we're going to add Miss Visha, a fellow mom of a warrior, but I think she might have on her Red Cross hat this evening. Maybe with some of her caregiver hat on too as well. Thank you, Visha, for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you.
And before we hop on to Visha, Patrick, now I asked Mario to share with us his perspective, as a dad, as a warrior. But can you share a little insight as how this journey has been for you from the perspective of being the father of a child with a chronic illness, as well as, you know, your dad, your husband, and we have other kids and you have grandkids. So just give us some insight on, from your perspective of being a caregiver.
Okay, kind of from my perspective, when his journey first started, wasn't really sure what direction it was going to go in. You know, you know, the early years was rough for us with all the hospital visits and not knowing, and you know, lack of education on our part. We've gotten a lot stronger as the years went on, you know, and it's so interesting. You know, I think about sometimes, like, I always joke about when we go to buy a car, you always have the good person and the bad person. That's kind of the role we play in the hospital. Brenda's always the good person. I'm always the bad guy. I'm sorry, I'm the bad guy, you know, because I want to make sure. Okay, what are we doing for my son? When are we gonna do it? Okay, can we make this happen? And then sometimes Brenda be like, okay, they're doing their best. Hold on, just stop. You know, but I can't help that. I just go strictly in the father mode. Sorry. I go into dad mode, protect my son, do what I have to do to make it happen. And you know, one of my strongest assets is that I'm a protector. That's what I do. You know, and it could be because of my upbringing as well as my military, but that's what I do. So I'm gonna do what I can to protect him. And but you know, along that same line, Braden is a tough cookie. That little joker's tough. You know, I'm always fascinated when Brenda will come to me and say, "Hey, we need to do this. Let's take Braden out to let him play baseball." You know, I think Braden has played every sport there is outside of hockey. You know, it's ironic. Braden has played baseball. I remember he started with it was a little soccer. I think we started initially. We even tried a little golf tournaments. I mean little golf lessons, basketball team he's played on. He's played on football teams with
Flag.
flag football. Yeah. And then
Dr.
and
Carla
then,
might be listening.
you know, but it's always great. And he is a big sports advocate. So when you look at him now, he's boxing. He's doing boxing now. It's supposed to be non-contact boxing, which is great. You know, he goes to the gym now, and the first thing the coach have him do is go do his workout. And you know, and he loves it because you know I'm a carpenter also, so sometimes I'll do things, and you know sometimes I'll need a helper. So lately he's come to me and say, "Dad, you need me to help you with that?" And I'm like, I look at him with the side eye, and then he said, "Well, Dad, you know I'm getting kind of strong. You know, I was only lifting this when I was at the gym, but now I'm lifting this." And I say, "All right, okay." So the other day he helped me lift something. I can't tell mommy what he helped me lift, but you know, it was interesting. So I'm fascinated on how tough he is, and you know, I can say that for a lot of our warriors. You know, Visha's little man hung out with us at an event too. He's so cool to hang out with, and he had a good time hanging out with me and Braden. So you know, I tell people don't sleep on our sickle cell warriors. They are tough. They are tough. So a lot of times people think that you know sickle cell warriors just want sympathy and they want this and they no. They are always willing to give a hand and they are tough. You know, and they always are willing to help. You know, so let's appreciate these strong individuals. You know, they never let their illness slow them down. They are tough. You know, and that's from a dad perspective of a sickle cell warrior. Thank you.
And you're absolutely right. I swear I've met so many amazing people, and you know sometimes you know I would say, "Oh, woe is me." That was my mentality early on. Why my baby? But then I look at him and he's like, okay, bounce back. His bounce back game is strong. You know, once you know he might be sick, but then when he's well, he's well. And so that's one of the things I admire about them. But yet we can do our part. Um, we can do our part with donating blood. We can do our part with helping to spread awareness on their behalf, advocating for them. You know, I mean, even though they're tough, but in a lot of ways they have to be tough because of all the things they're facing in the medical arena. You know, going to a hospital, trying to go to work, trying to go to school, participating in all these activities, just trying to just do what they want to do. But a lot of times, you know, in order to, you know, for Braden to have played baseball, yeah, we had to tweak some things. He had to take extra breaks. He had to drink extra water, things like that. And we work with the coaches. And we're so, Patrick mentioned boxing. If Dr. Carl is listening, it is no contact boxing, okay? But we're so excited to be a part of the Battle Boxing Gym. I'll share their link. They've been absolutely amazing. The owners, Coach Kevin and his wife, they know about sickle cell disease and make sure that it's safe. It's a safe environment for Braden, and you know they make sure he takes his breaks. They make sure he's drinking. They make sure it's no contact. But you know we're so glad because we don't want to hold him back either. You know, it's I think Mario and I had a conversation before. You know, when I asked about you know the things he was allowed to do, and you know me being scared about you know allowing Braden to do certain things, and you know, and then I don't want to hold him back either. So you know this journey is not easy. Every day we have to make decisions, every day. A lot of those decisions are major decisions. I mean, just something as simple as walking to the mailbox, but it's 102 degrees outside. It's something you have to rethink. You can't just go get in a pool for them. You have to know the temperature. It can't be too cold, and you can't just get out. You have to think. So everything comes with, and we're used to it now. It's ingrained in us to, because we've been on this journey for 16 years. But I'm so glad you guys are here to give an insight. Braden, is there anything you want to share? How does it feel? Like, for example, do you enjoy your boxing? What do you think when we take you to one of your practices for boxing? What are some of the things that you have to do prior to going inside the gym? You want to share that?
Well, I know that I have to drink a lot of water and before I go the day, and then I also have to take my inhaler to make sure I don't like overheat or pass out or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be fine for most of the thing, and make sure to take my breaks and drink my water or whatever or Gatorade, and make sure to take plenty of breaks so I won't be tired as much during it.
Yeah. Now, do you listen? Is there certain signs or certain feelings you have when you know, hey, I need to sit down? Do you listen to those signs?
Yes, I do listen to those signs. Some of them are like if I'm like breathing heavier or like feeling a little dizzy, I'll just sit down for a few minutes and drink something.
Okay. So, and that's one of the things that he's had to learn, and I know Mario knows a lot about that, is just be in tune with your body and listen and listen to your body and do, what's necessary to make sure you don't either go in a crisis or have some like he said, pass out, because he does have asthma as well. But yeah, so good job, buddy, for sharing that. Deisha, we have a drive coming up on Friday.
Yes, we do. And we are so excited. This Friday, June 17th, in honor of World Sickle Cell Day, the Stronger Together Blood Drive, of course, hosted by our wonderful partners, the Be Strong Group, supported by other advocacy groups as well, right there at 2751 Bull Street at our American Red Cross building. And we are so excited. We're so looking forward to everyone coming out and participating. We have some great incentives. We have just some wonderful giveaways and prizes and things that we're going to have going on. Lots of education. Y'all know that's my thing. Lots of education about sickle cell disease. And we're creating that awareness. We're going to have some warriors on site. So those of you who come out to donate, you have the opportunity to speak one-on-one with some of these warriors, these people who, live with this disease every single day. So you hear it all the time, or you hear it through Tuesday chats or, different experiences, but you'll get to meet them one-on-one, in person, live and in the flesh, and speak with them and ask these questions. We'll have some prizes and giveaways. We're so excited about that. And just coming out to have a good time. The media will be there, so you might get to wave on camera at the news. Just lots of excitement. We want to celebrate our warriors in an amazing way and let them know just how much we love them, just how much we honor them, and how much we admire them and their strength, their resiliency. We're just excited.
Absolutely. Thank you for being here. And as you all know, if you've been watching our Tuesday chat, Bisha has been on multiple times. Not only is she the sickle cell account manager with the American Red Cross here in Columbia, South Carolina, but she's also a mom of Mr. Draylon, a sickle cell warrior. And, she has her own personal story about the importance of blood donation, why it's important to her. We all have a story, but she has one as well. And, it's good to have advocacy at the American Red Cross. But the thing is, at the Red Cross, like Mario, like we have Mario there. There are so many people that, and that's why I'm partnering with the American Red Cross. The Be Strong group partners with the American Red Cross because I've seen firsthand that sickle cell is important. There is an actual initiative that they're taking. There are groups dedicated to talking about increasing or diversifying the blood supply for our sickle cell warriors. So they mean it. And a lot of the people that are involved are personally connected with sickle cell disease. So that means a lot. So I'm grateful to be a part of that team as well. I'm grateful for the partnership. I'm grateful for the other organizations that we're working with for Fridays, Stronger Together, Blood Drive, that we want to see you guys there. And we mentioned earlier, if you're encouraged by what we're sharing with you, visit the redcrossblood.org, and it's going to up in the left-hand corner? It's going to be sponsor. Ask for your sponsor code. You're going to see a zip code in there, but you put in Be Strong, and it'll populate up with our next blood drive on June 17th. You're going to see a couple others because we're already booked for the August. It's August, Patrick, August 27th for our fall blood drive. But you can book for that one too, but go ahead and make your appointment for this Friday between 1 and 6. Like Visha said, there are some incentives, but it's nothing more important than having the ability to save a life. I mean, yeah, that $20 e-gift card from Amazon is great. However, you're seeing firsthand the lives that have been saved due to the blood donation. So that's priceless to give the chance for someone to live, for a warrior to have less pain, to get through a crisis, and to meet their need in order for them to live month to month. So this is also important. Visha, what did I miss?
You got it.
Yeah.
You got everything.
So Danielle, we're praying for Tyson. I don't know if you saw the comment, Visha, but we're praying for Tyson. Again, that is one of the reasons why we're doing what we do. And it just goes to show that the need is constant. The need is constant and it's real. I can't say that enough. So please, 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 if you have a question about or you're concerned about donating blood, put your comment in the comment section. We might be ending soon because we've been talking for a minute, but you can message me, you can message Visha, you can message Mario, Patrick, Braden is even on Facebook. So you can send a question there and we'll get you an answer. But please take the time to just go ahead and sign up and become a regular blood donor so you can join us and help save lives. So we appreciate you so much. So any closing words from our warriors or our caregiver?
I guess I'll start. I just want to say thank you for having me. And I'll see you guys on Friday. I'll be there as well. And please come out and donate. Our blood is needed. Even if you don't have a special type, it's still needed. There's still so many people in our state who needs our blood, and and it's not just the sickle cell warriors, even though this is what this drive is about. But even if you're not typed to help one of them, you can help save someone else's life. And so please come out and join us and get some swag bags and some cookies and juice and all the other stuff that we give you, and enjoy yourself. And we thank you, and hopefully we'll see you on Friday.
All right, thank you, Mario. Patrick.
All right, I just want to say thank you for inviting me to Tuesday chat for the first time, Visha. Um, and I'm looking forward to meeting everyone during the blood drive. It's going to be exciting to see all the organizations come together as one. That's pretty exciting. Thank you. I'm looking forward to that.
Braden, anything you want to share with the people?
Come out to the blood drive, and remember, one blood donation can save up to 3 lives. And if you're scared of needles, think of sickle cell warriors, and think what you can change, how you can change their lives if they need blood donations.
Good job, buddy.
Very good, buddy.
That's so important. That's so important. And for those of you who have donated, who have signed up already, hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I got to make sure I do that because if your blood don't flow fast enough, you will be on the list. They won't take your donation. So you have to hydrate. Hopefully everybody has been eating their burgers or their green leafy vegetables or their beans to get that protein, to get that iron up.
Or their liver.
See,
Wait a minute now, Patrick.
Hold up. But
whoa.
We tend to have that low hemoglobin, so that's important to get up. I've started taking my iron pills in prep to get my hemoglobin up. I did want to mention for those who think, I have the trait, I can't donate. Can they, Patrick?
Yes, they can donate.
Patrick is a regular donor. He has the trait and he donates. So your blood can be used as well. I have hemoglobin C. My blood can be used as well. So if you have diabetes, you can donate as long as you're on top of that diabetes and taking your medicines the way you're supposed to. But it's so important to eat right. It's so important to hydrate so that we can be well enough so that we can go ahead and get on that bed, like Mario says, stick those arms out and save some lives. So we're so excited. Oh, you think we can close with the video? What you think, Visha?
Yeah, that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome.
If it'll let me add it.
I have sickle cell disease, and the reason blood donation is important to me is because it helps save people's lives. Like it saved mine in 2015. I don't remember much of it, but I remember it was hard to go through. So if you can donate blood, it can definitely save lives.
I'm Jalen Holmes, and I have sickle cell, and blood donations is important to people like me. And when I'm in the hospital, blood transfusions is a thing that helps me when I don't feel good.
Hi, my name is Timothy Griffin, and we invite you out on June 17th from 1 to 6 p.m. We need you to come out and give your blood. Why? Because your blood can save our lives. There are many people that you don't see today that are in the hospital, that are struggling and that are battling with sickle cell disease. And they need your blood. We need your blood. So will you come out and support us? We need your blood.
I love it. I love it. I love it. So that message is so strong. Yeah. That message is so strong. They need your blood. They need our blood. So let's go ahead and sign up. For those who are listening, thank you. Thank you for taking time out of your schedule to hear the stories of our fathers, of our sons. I'm talking to us tonight, sharing their perspective. I know you love us mamas, but we felt that it was important to hear from the men as well. Thank you for those who are listening on replay. Thank you for listening towards the end. We hope that you as well, if you have any comments, any hoorahs for our fellas, put it in the comments. I'll make sure they see them. And we'll see you next time for our next Tuesday chat. So good night, everybody.